So Dabur is set to post its Q4FY21 numbers, and in terms of the overall numbers, we're surely expecting a good set of numbers coming in from Dabur. So in terms of revenue, we are expecting the revenue growth to be around 32% and coming in at 2,464 crore rupees. While in terms of the profits of the company, we're expecting a sharp jump of 55% in the profits, and the profits are expected to stand at around 438 crores. Margins, we're expecting a good strong expansion coming in terms of the margins of the company, more than 230, around a 230 basis point expansion. So margins are expected to be at 21.2% versus 18.9%. This is all on a year-on-year basis, and the margins are what I'm talking about is the EBITDA margins or the operating margins of the company. Now, domestic volume growth, which is important, we do keep an eye out on that. Domestic volume growth is expected to come in around 37% for the company, and overall, the revenue growth is mainly, expected to be aided by the robust growth that we'll be seeing in healthcare segment, oral care segment, as well as personal, health, hygiene and personal care segment. Also, something that has seen an improvement. Overall, we are expecting a good growth coming in most of the all the segments of the company, more than a 30% growth in most of its segments. So that is something that we should surely keep an eye out on. And even the beverage segment, which was last year, if you compare it this time, it was a bit weak. But now, because of the low base, we're expecting a good growth coming in over there as well. In terms of the international business, we're expecting around a 15% growth on a year-on-year basis on the international business front. While in terms of the margins, we expect the gross margins of the company not to contract like other FMCG companies, because the company has taken smaller amount of price increases during this quarter as well. So that is something that will be supporting the margins of the company as well. And other than that, obviously, cost initiative measures will lead to a better EBITDA performance, EBITDA margin expansion of 230 basis point for the company. So all in all, margins are expected to be stable. Unlike gross margins, especially, are expected to be stable, unlike other FMCG companies. Now, in terms of factors that we'll be watching out for, in rural growth, commentary on rural growth is going to be very important. Now we're seeing that the second year surely reached more smaller towns and cities as well. So, is there any impact that they're seeing in the rural growth? Because rural growth has been outpacing urban growth, like we know. So, is the trend still continuing, or what is the current scenario going on in rural growth front? Other than that, any consumer preferences more towards Ayurveda, naturals? Is there a bigger shift now coming in? What is the scenario there? Growth in their healthcare portfolio as well, and any new launches in the pipeline is something that we'll be watching out for Dabur in terms of their earnings coming in for Q4 FY21. So all in all, let's expecting a good set of numbers coming in from Dabur, and let's keep an eye out on the final set what comes out.